क्या है शुगर? Hello everyone, a very logical day to all of you. And I hope you are keeping up with your resolutions because what you had decided this week, and if you have decided, that means you need to read at least one editorial that you have missed, apart from reading the editorial of the day. Reading plus listening to this recording. So let's see what we have in the editorial today is a sum of small things. Right? Sum means total. And if you remember, sum is also a root word which would come up as summit, right? Consummate. You have these root words related to sum, that is total, combining the things together. So let's see what the sum is about. The reading part of this editorial today of 13th April. So undoubtedly, the AAP's elevation to national party status marks a watershed in the rise and spread of a party over 10 years. But it is also an occasion to look again at the list of India's national parties. With the NCP, TMC, CPI losing the tag, that means now these are no more the national parties. There are now 6: BJP, Congress, CPM, AAP, BSP, and National People's Party. So it doesn't need a long pause to see the big picture. Doesn't need a long pause to see the big picture का मतलब ज्यादा दिमाग लगा के सोचने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. पिक्चर काफी क्लियर हो जाती है कि अब हमारे पास सिर्फ 6 पार्टीज हैं which are in the tag of that national party status. Now, except the Congress and the BJP. So that means if you look at these 6 names, except for Congress and the BJP, the other parties don't exactly have a national footprint. They are regional players, even though they may have fulfilled the formal requirements to be called the national parties. And so, they don't exactly have a national footprint. They are regional players, even though they may have fulfilled the formal requirements to be called. मतलब उनका नाम दे दिया नेशनल पार्टीज पर एक्चुअली में उनका नेशनल फुटप्रिंट या उनका असर इतना ऑल ओवर इंडिया नहीं है. So this has important implications for the national contest in times of BJP dominance. With the Congress in decline and until it summons the political nerve and labor to pull itself up by the bootstraps. यहाँ आ जाता है एक idiom, pull somebody, नहीं, हम किसी और को नहीं कर सकते. So pull yourself up by your bootstraps. अपने ही बूट के स्ट्रैप्स को लेके खुद को ऊपर करो. That means you are going to make success or make something only by your own efforts without any external help. That is the meaning of pull itself up by the bootstraps. So until it summons the political nerve. Nerve का मतलब होता है courage. इतना courage, इतना hard work अगर वो कर सकती है कांग्रेस, तो जाके वो बीजेपी का सामना कर सकेगी. This is what he's saying, that with the Congress in decline and until it summons up this courage and that hard work to pull itself up, the BJP will continue to gain from the fact that it faces much smaller adversaries. तो उसके सामने जो एडवर्सरीज हैं वो छोटे 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 हैं. कांग्रेस थोड़ा सा बड़ा है, एक एडवर्सरी उसका ओपोनेंट, बट कांग्रेस डिक्लाइन पे है. अगर डिक्लाइन पे है तो बीजेपी डोमिनेंस यानी कंट्रोल करते रहेंगी. तो उनका सामना करने के लिए अभी कोई नहीं है. Right? So here is the picture given by the author. Let's see which all parties are included in that national party status and what is the status of these parties which have been declared as a national party. Out of these, the BJP and the Congress are the national players, of course, since so long, but the other players are mainly regional players. They do not have that national impact, so to say. Right now, he's talking about the Congress, which is on the decline. It should get itself up now, right? And the BJP that is now mainly in power, that is dominating. So if BJP is dominating, Congress is on the decline, then what is needed is somebody to come up and face the BJP or in that manner. So it is not just that. Other than the Congress, the BJP's competitors are strong or present in limited regional geographies. It is also that consequently they have narrow platforms and agendas. नैरो प्लेटफॉर्म्स एंड एजेंडास का मतलब होता है कि उनका जो चीजें वो मैनिफेस्ट करते हैं या जो चीजें देखते हैं कि हाँ हम इंडिया को क्या करेंगे, तो वो बड़ा नैरो डाउन है, जबकि बीजेपी के एक वाइडर होते हैं. ठीक है, देखो, इवन इट्स स्टॉन्च राइवल्स एंड क्रिटिक्स विल कंसीड that the BJP pitches its tents wide and wider. It is a party of big ideas. ठीक है, उसके जो भी टेक्स होते हैं, जो भी वो पिंच करते हैं, जो भी वो पॉइंट लेके आते हैं, वो एक वाइड होता है, ओवरऑल वर्ल्ड या इंडिया के हिसाब से होता है, नैरो डाउन नहीं होता है. और ये तो उसके जो राइवल्स हैं, बिकॉज स्टॉन्च मीन्स बिल्कुल ऑर्थोडॉक्स कट्टर, बिल्कुल तो कट्टर राइवल्स हैं उसके, वो और उसके जो क्रिटिक्स हैं बीजेपी के, वो भी ये मानेंगे. तो concede means to agree to what the other person is saying. So even his rivals are going to agree that yes, BJP pitches its tents wide and wider. It is a party of big ideas. Hindutva, nationalism, Labharti politics. It speaks of and lays claim to larger wholes. Of course, these holes exclude too. They have built-in silences. So they exclude many people, but then what they are thinking of is on a wider basis. So BJP's wooing of the Pasmanda Muslims recently only underlines that the party has no Muslim MP. And yet it can point to a relative narrowness of other national parties and use the comparison to promote the impression of its own winnability. That means what the BJP can do is again point down the narrowness of the other parties and then come up with its own win. So the ongoing effort by the non-BJP parties to stitch the opposition unity, stitch मतलब छोटे 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 टुकड़े लेके और फिर कुछ एक बड़ी चीज बना देना, और stitching उसी को करेंगे that you attach all those things together. So this is what the non-BJP parties are trying to do. They are trying to stitch the opposition unity. It is a recognition of that BJP advantage and an admission that they cannot take it on singly. ठीक है, अगर वो किसी और पार्टी, दो ऑपोजिशन पार्टीज अगर मिलती हैं, बोलती चलो अपन यूनाइटेड वील स्टैंड देयर, तो दैट मीन्स दे आर एग्रीइंग दैट isolated they are unable to face the BJP. So mere mechanical totting up of tallies and stints without a big idea that becomes an animating and binding force, however, may not be enough. Totting up of tallies and stints होता है कि मतलब सिर्फ आप ऐसा बना लो कि you stitch all the things up and then you say that see we measure better now. तो ये सिर्फ एक big idea होती है, ये actually इतना काफी नहीं है. It could even end up playing into the BJP's hands by becoming the sum of small things. That means the BJP is going to play with it. That see, what are these people? They have just combined together, not being able to do anything on their own. So India's newest national party is evidently eyeing a bigger playground. The AAP has shown determination and a capacity to work hard. ये तो है. This is the newest national party. It is likely to use its successes to propel itself upward and forward. धीरे धीरे ये आगे चल सकती है. लेकिन एकदम से अभी नेक्स्ट कमिंग इलेक्शंस में अगर वो कर ले, ये पॉसिबल नहीं हो पाएगा. अकॉर्डिंग टू द ऑथर, दिस इज व्हाट ही सजेस्टिंग. फॉर अ पार्टी विद 0 लोकसभा एमपीज, 2 prominent leaders in jail on corruption charges, and an ideological fuzziness that at times seems more calibration than conviction. Calibration का मतलब होता है वो खुद प्लान करके उसको कैलकुलेट करके करा जाए. तो कन्विक्शन नहीं है, मतलब उसमें confidence nahi hai. Conviction is like confidence that you have in your own party, in your own ideology. That is not seen. It is just fuzziness. The fuzziness ऐसे fluffiness होता है कि उसको ऐसे soft करोगे तो sponge जैसे soft हो जाता है. In that way. So it is only pretentious, not pretentious exactly, but it is something that is only looks more, but it is actually not. So what he's saying is that ideological fuzziness that at times seems more calibration than conviction. Taking the center stage is still a long haul. मतलब वो अगर center में आ जाएगी तो ये तो अभी काफी लंबा रास्ता है उसे तय करना. This is the point of the author in the third paragraph. So the opposition's challenge in 2024 will be to present an alternative to the BJP that is national and not just because EC rules allow it to call itself so. So they need to present an alternative to the BJP that is national. ठीक है, मतलब आपको नेशनल पार्टी घोषित तो कर लिया है, लेकिन क्या वो उस लेवल पे है? अकॉर्डिंग टू द ऑथर, नो. तो बीजेपी के सामने अब ऑन अ नेशनल लेवल एंड इवन ऑफ अ नेशनल स्टेटस, राइट, नॉट ओनली बीइंग डिक्लेयर्ड ऑफ अ नेशनल स्टेटस बट एक्चुअली ऑफ अ नेशनल होल्ड, ऐसी कोई पार्टी है? तो उसने कहा अकॉर्डिंग टू द ऑथर कांग्रेस डिक्लाइन पर है, आप अभी तक उस लेवल पे नहीं आई है, एंड द रेस्ट ऑफ द पार्टीज आर रीजनल. So BJP is still there in a position of dominance. राइट, तो ये सामना करना है. अभी कोई ऐसी पार्टी चाहिए ऑथर के हिसाब से. Opposition's challenge in 2024 will be to present an alternative to the BJP that is national and not just because EC rules allow it to call itself so. Right? So the main idea, what we just wrote, that a new list of national parties shows how the opposition is still regional when the challenge is national. So the challenge national, opposition regional. यही था main ideas and what we underlined there. So elevation, the vocabulary related to this will be elevation is the height. Elevators, we had done it the previous day. Watershed means the turning point or a crisis. तो 10 सालों के बाद उसे एक नेशनल पार्टी डिक्लेयर कर दिया गया, तो this becomes a watershed point for him. Dominance is the supremacy power. Those of you know, it's okay. Those who don't will note it down. Wooing is to persuade, entice. To woo your beloved, मतलब उसे entice करना, उसे मना लेना, ये होता है. Persuade. Pull itself up by the straps is to work on your own, right? To put in your efforts. किसी और का नहीं. Your efforts without external help. Animating is like animated speech होती है, something that is arousing, right? Stimulating, provoking, वो animated होता है. Adversaries, of course, you know, adverse conditions होते हैं, that means opposite, तो opponents हो जाएंगे. Antagonist, enemies हो सकते हैं, पर antagonist का opposite हो जाएगा protagonist. तो protagonist is again the hero, and antagonist is the person who is against the hero. So anta का मतलब होता है opposite, against. Totting up is calculating summation. अभी हमने sum word use किया था ना, sum of all things, तो वो tot up होता है. Fuzziness is fluffiness and furriness, right? अगर fur के जैसे वो होते हैं toys होते हैं ना, fur toys. So they are so fluffy, fluffy, fluffy. Means soft. You just push them like this, you squeeze them, और वो soft होते हैं बिल्कुल. So that is fuzziness. Calibration is of course correction. Adjusting, tuning, मतलब किसी भी चीज को सही करना, उसे calibrate कहते हैं. And still a long haul is a difficult task requiring much hard work. Right? So I hope you understood, though we did not have many difficult words here, but then you understand the points that we had marked there in those 3 paragraphs. And the major point that we could get was that, see, BJP is still in dominance. But what about the opposition for the next party, for the next elections? There are only 6 parties which have been declared as a national party status. Out of them, they can say that, okay, fine, 2, BJP and Congress are of a national level. The rest are only regional. So according to the author, what is happening? Congress is on the decline, he says, so it has to pull itself up together, right, to be able to face the BJP in the next elections, and the rest of the parties are more regional, right? They have narrow, you can say the narrow targets or objectives, whereas BJP has a broader one. Then he named also the nationalism and the Hindutva and all that, right? So he's still showing a why there's a difference and what is the difference between the BJP that is on the national front and the rest of the parties that are there. He talked about the Congress, fine. Then he talked about the AAP, and he said that it's been 10 years. Now it is being declared as a political party of a national party status. but of a national status, but then it is still not being able to come up with that national hold. अभी तक उसका impact overall नहीं है, वो एक region पर ही है. So what is required is not, आप may not be able to take it or confront the BJP's dominance in the next coming elections, that is in 2024. What is required according to the author is that there should be some party or whatever, a combination alliance or whatever it is, by the time the elections are there, that opposition should come up with a party that is going to face the BJP. So that's all for today. I hope you have understood how to summarize that, because why I am doing this is to help you do your passages. वो करते रहोगे, तुम जितना समझोगे, major points निकालो, you come to this understanding. If you are able to understand this, you will be able to do all the questions correctly. Right? So focus on the understanding part first. By the end of that April, you should be able to work your best in your tests, your mock tests. Come on. Thank you. That's all for today. See you tomorrow and have a logical day, and the logical remaining week. Thank you.